Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this one, because honestly, we are going to do something incredibly satisfying today. We're going to take a plain, kind of messy grid of numbers, specifically some sales data for a campus coffee cart, and completely transform it into a polished, highly visual, decision-ready report. If you've ever stared at a massive wall of spreadsheet data and just wondered, how on earth do I make this actually make sense? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get started.
Think of this explainer as a guided transformation. We are going to build our coffee cart tracker layer by layer. We aren't just going to type in numbers. We're going to format them so they're actually readable, power them up with some really smart formulas, add visual charts so we can instantly spot trends, and finally make sure our entire report is fully accessible to everyone. By the end of this, you'll see how a simple tracker turns into a tool that drives real-world decisions, whether that's for a school report, a club project, or a workplace dashboard.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the transformation. First, formatting and entering data. Second, writing powerful smart formulas. Third, sparklines and the format painter. Fourth, building and styling charts. Fifth, managing your Excel workbook. And finally, working smart and inclusively. Let's get right to it.
Section 1, Formatting and Entering Data. This is all about building a really solid foundation. Okay, so when you type a super long heading into a cell, your first instinct is probably to just widen the column, right? But think about it. If you do that for every single column, your table suddenly becomes way too wide to read easily. That's where wrap text comes in. It's an absolute game changer. It cleanly stacks your long text onto multiple lines right inside that single cell, which keeps your whole coffee cart tracker perfectly compact and easy to read.
Now check out this beautifully clean table. Notice those month headers? You don't actually have to type out January, February, March manually. No way. You just type Jan, grab the fill handle, that little square in the bottom corner of the cell, drag it across, and Excel automatically fills out the rest of the months for you. Also, take a look at the dollar signs. We applied a currency format to the sales data. A major thing to remember here. Formatting changes how the money looks on your screen, but it absolutely does not change the actual number stored in the cell. Oh, and we can also use the Today function to add an auto-updating report date so whenever someone opens it, they know exactly when the data was pulled.
While you're entering your latte and cold brew data, you're bound to make a mistake and need to delete something. Quick pause here because this trips up so many beginners. Hitting the delete key on your keyboard only clears the contents of the cell, like the text or the numbers, but the physical cell itself stays exactly where it is. However, if you right-click and choose delete, you are removing the actual structural cell or even the whole row or column. When you do that, everything else shifts over to fill the gap. Knowing this difference is going to save you a ton of accidental data shifting for sure. Moving right along to Section 2, Writing Powerful Smart Formulas. This is the engine of our tracker. So here's an absolutely crucial concept, understanding cell references. Normally, when you copy a formula down a column, Excel shifts the row numbers automatically. That's called a relative reference. But what if we have one specific cell, say cell B10, that holds a fixed business reinvestment rate? We want every single product row to multiply by that exact same cell. To do this, we use an absolute reference. By throwing dollar signs in there, we basically lock that reference into place so it stays perfectly fixed no matter where you copy the formula.
You know, spreadsheets aren't just calculators. They can actually make decisions for us. Let's say we want to know, did our coffee cart products meet their monthly sales goal of $2,000? Instead of scanning every single row and checking manually, we can just teach Excel to make a logical decision for us using the I function.
The if function basically tells Excel, if the total sales are greater than or equal to 2,000, label it on track. If not, label it review. Now here is a massive watch out tip for you. Whenever you want Excel to output actual text, like the words on track or review, you must put those words inside quotation marks in your formula. If you don't, Excel gets completely confused and just throws an error.
All right, Section 3, Sparklines and Format Painter. Let's add some quick visuals.
A really common point of confusion for beginners is mixing up sparklines with regular charts. A sparkline is literally a tiny mini chart that lives completely inside a single solitary cell. That's it. It doesn't have an X or Y axis, it doesn't have a legend. It exists purely to show you a trend, like a quick line going up or down at a single glance, right next to your data. And you can totally customize these sparklines. You can switch them from a line to a column sparkline depending on what tells your story better. And you can even add colored markers to instantly highlight the highest or lowest sales month. Now, if you want the rest of your sheet's formatting to match perfectly, just grab the Format Painter tool. You literally copy the font, color, and borders from one perfect cell and paint that exact appearance onto other cells. And the best part? It only copies the style, not the actual text or numbers inside them.
Section 4. Building and styling charts. Time to zoom out and look at the big picture.
By placing the vertical columns for latte, cold brew, and mocha side by side in a clustered column chart, we can instantly compare how each product performed in January versus February, and so on. And this brilliantly illustrates how full charts help readers spot trends immediately. Remember though, the chart type you choose completely changes your message. Columns are great for comparing amounts side by side, while a line chart would be much better if you wanted to emphasize the change in sales over time.
Once you have a chart built, you might want to focus just on your top sellers, maybe just the latte and cold brew. You do this by filtering your chart. Let me clear up another massive beginner confusion point right here. Filtering a chart purely hides the other rows, like our croissant data, temporarily. It does not delete your data. If you clear the filter, boom, all your data pops right back onto the chart.
Section 5. Managing your Excel workbook. Let's talk organization.
As your workbook grows, keeping it tidy is key. You can rename your sheet tabs at the bottom to things like sales or summary, and even color code them. You can also toggle off grid lines or change the zoom level. But keep in mind, these view settings only change your on-screen display. They don't alter the actual data at all. Finally, you'll want to use the ultimate navigation trick, freeze panes. Depending on the cell you select, this lets you lock both your top header row and your first column in place so they stay perfectly visible no matter how far down or across you scroll. It's a lifesaver.
Finally, Section 6. Working smart and inclusively. This is the big payoff.
Because we built our formulas the smart way using cell references, our whole spreadsheet is now a live model. If you go in and change the input for June's cold brew sales, you get an instant what-if analysis. The totals recalculate automatically, the IF function immediately updates the status, the spark line shifts, and the full chart redraws itself in real time. You can even work backward from a target, tweaking your numbers just to see exactly what it takes to hit that $2,000 goal.
Now, as things get complex, don't mix up your navigation tools. The search box at the very top of Excel is for finding tools and commands, like typing in freeze panes if you forgot where the button lives. On the flip side, the find command, which you get by hitting Control F, is for locating specific text or numbers hidden deep inside your actual worksheet data, like if you're searching for the word mocha.
Okay, before you share this amazing coffee cart report with anyone, you absolutely must run the accessibility checker. This isn't just an optional decoration. A good spreadsheet has to be usable by everyone, including people who rely on screen readers or keyboard navigation. The checker will catch things like missing alt text, which is a written description of your charts, and it'll warn you if you're relying purely on color to convey a message, which is totally unhelpful for someone who is colorblind. Remember, inclusive design is smart design.
Let's wrap things up with this quote, because it perfectly summarizes everything we've covered today. Raw data just sitting in a grid is practically useless. It's only by applying formatting, smart formulas, visual charts, and accessibility tools that you transform that raw data into an actual, accessible engine for decision-making.
You have just seen exactly how to guide a plain, messy table of numbers into a polished, dynamic report. You now have the foundational skills to calculate, visualize, organize, and analyze like a pro. So I'll leave you with this thought. Whether it's for a school club, your personal budget, or your next big business venture, what real-world problem will you solve next with Excel? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.